Hello students, welcome to Btech360 and Career 360. The JoSAA Round 2 cutoffs are already in your hand and you exactly know what are your chances of getting into any of the IITs, NITs, IIITs and GFTIs. But when we are doing it, and a lot of students also wanted us to do a branch-wise cutoff after round 2, so that because if you want to get into a CS branch or allied sciences branches, you will exactly know what your chances are. And similarly, a lot of students asked us for electronics, electrical and electrical engineering. So what we're doing right now is the NIT, and by the way, we did it for IITs already. So whenever we do this branch-wise cutoff, we do it for IITs separately, NITs, IIITs and GFTIs, each of them separately. So what we're going to cover now is NITs, ECE and EE and we compare the 26 round 2 cutoff versus 25 round 2 cutoff, and also tell you what exactly happened in 2025 by the time the entire JoSAA counselling ended. That's very important for you because you know the kind of journey you need to travel and what are your chances of getting into any of the branches that you are actually liking. So this is all about NIT, ECE and EE, right? Now, a lot of students also, keep asking us, whether they want to talk to a counselor, and also what we did was we opened a helpline, which is 8130 376334. 8130 376334. You just need to type Btech and one of our counselors will call you up. Because a lot of students might still be not getting into a right college and they are now struggling of what next is a big thing that most students will go through. So our counselors are here to help you ensure that you get into the best college possible based on your score, affordability and those kind of things. So do type a message Btech and one of our counselors will call you up. And do subscribe to Btech360 because we're covering a lot of content which will help you get into the best college. So do subscribe to Btech360. If you want me to cover anything else, the way I'm doing this particular one based on student demand, if you want me to cover anything else, please write to me in the message box here below the video and I'll be happy to cover that for you. Now, the NIT. So what we're talking of right now is this. We're talking of NITs, we're talking of ECE and electrical engineering, and we're talking of outside the home state quota and closing rank, highest closing rank in the open category outside the home state quota after round 2. Each of them is very important for you. Right. Now let's start with it. NIT Trichy, Btech ECE is the branch we're talking about. This year it's 2,983. Last year it is 3,282. So which essentially means that it became more tougher for you to get into NIT Trichy. Last year it ended 3,283 by the way, so not much of a deviation. Then NIT Rourkela, Btech ECE, right? It last year it started at 3,770. This year rather, last year it was 4,125. So again, it's become much more difficult by 408 ranks. NIT Warangal, Btech ECE, 4284 this year. Last year 4549. 265 ranks. It has become that much more difficult. NIT Warangal, Btech ECE, VLSI Design and Technology, 4419 this year. 5057 last year. A drop of 638 ranks, which means it becomes that much more difficult for you to get in, right? Then NIT Rourkela, Btech ECE, 4661 this year. Last year 5264. A growth of 603 ranks. NIT Trichy again, Btech Electrical and Electronics, 5054 this year. Last year 5169. A gain of 115 ranks. NIT Karnataka Suratgal, Btech Electrical and Electronics in EEE, 6419 this year. Last year it was 5918. This became easier for you to get in by 501 ranks. So this seems to be an odd man out at this point in time. NIT Calicut, Btech ECE, 7132 this year. Last year 7530. It became that much more difficult by 398 ranks. It grew. NIT Warangal, Btech Electrical and Electronics, 7714 this year. Last year 6929. A drop of 785 ranks. So that's much more easier for you to get in. NIT Warangal, Btech Electrical and Electronics Engineering, Electrical Mobility, 8183 is a new course that they added. Then MNIT Allahabad, Btech ECE, 8318 this year, 6917 last year. This has become very, very easy by 1300. It's a massive drop. It's a massive, massive drop. Then NIT Rourkela, Btech Electrical and Instrumentation Engineering, 8666 this year. Last time it was 89195. So a drop of 471 ranks. Last year it ended with 9,555. So this year it can end with 10,000. The way it is going. NIT Jaipur, Btech ECE, 8704 this year. 8821 last year. A growth of 117 ranks. And ended with 9667. So again you will be dealing with something like 9,500 is what you can expect. NIT Rourkela, Btech Electrical Engineering, 8956 this year, 9611 last year, a growth of 655 ranks. NIT Trichy, Btech Instrumentation and Control Engineering, 9043 this year, 9214 last year, a growth of 171 ranks. NIT Nagpur, Btech ECE, 10,212. Last year it was 9688, a drop of 524 ranks. NIT Delhi, Btech ECE, 10,499. Last year it was 10,036, a drop of 463 ranks. This ended with 10,901 last year. NIT Calicut, Btech Electrical and Electronics Engineering, 10,645 this year, 10,016 last year, 629 is a drop. NIT Allahabad, Btech Electrical Engineering, 10,809 this year, 10,821 last year, growth of 12 ranks. NIT Nagpur, Btech Electronics Engineering, VLSI Design and Technology, 12,695 is the highest closing rank. End of round 2 is what we're talking, remember? And it's a new course. NIT Jamshedpur, Btech ECE, 12,701 this year, 11,586 last year, a drop of 1,115 ranks. NIT Kurukshetra, Btech ECE, 12,812 this year, last time it was 10,582, a massive drop of 2,230 ranks. NIT Jaipur, Btech Electrical Engineering, 12,881 this year, 12,608 last year, a drop of 273 ranks. It ended with 14,665. So the way it's going, it will be 15,000 this year. NIT Delhi, Btech VLSI Design and Technology, 12,920 this year, 11,918 last year, a drop of 1,002 ranks. And it ended with 12,972. NIT Surat, Btech ECE, 13,740 current year, 12,355 last year, a drop of 1,385 ranks. NIT Bhopal, Btech ECE, 14,340 this year, last year it was 12,925, a drop of 1,415 ranks. NIT Durgapur, Btech ECE, 14,538 current year, 12,737 last year, a drop of 1,800 ranks. So whenever you have good branches being opened by IITs or good NITs and all, you will actually see this kind of a drop happening because students gravitate towards that. NIT Nagpur, Btech EEE, 15,045. Earlier it was 14,035, a drop of 1,010 ranks. NIT Delhi, Btech Electrical Engineering, 15,142 this year. Last year it was 14,016, 1,126 is the drop. NIT Surat, Btech Electronics and VLSI Design Engineering, 15,222 this year, 14,359 last year, a drop of 863 ranks. NIT Kurukshetra, Btech Microelectronics and VLSI Engineering, 15,284 this year. Last year it was 13,801, a drop of 1,483 ranks. Dr. B.R. Ambedkar NIT Jalandhar, Btech ECE, 16,054 this year. Last year 14,867, a drop of 1,187 ranks. And it ended with 16,180 this last year. So it will end with about 17,000 plus this year. Then again, B.R. Ambedkar NIT Jalandhar, Btech Electronics and VLSI Engineering, 16,593 current year, 16,173 last year, a drop of 420. NIT Kurukshetra, Btech Electrical Engineering, 17,806 this year, 15,078 last year, a drop of 2,728 ranks. NIT Silchar, Btech ECE, 18,000 current year, last year 16,180, a drop of 1,820 ranks. NIT Jamshedpur, Btech Electrical Engineering, 18,094 current year, 17,550 last year, drop of 544 ranks. NIT Hamirpur, Btech ECE, 18,888, 17,476 in the last year, a drop of 1,412 ranks. NIT Surat, Btech Electrical Engineering, 19,361 current year, last year 17,322, a drop of 2,039 ranks. NIT Goa, Btech ECE, 19,364 in the current year, last year 15,842, a massive drop of 3,522 ranks. NIT Bhopal, Btech Electrical Engineering, 19,927 current year, last year 18,766, a drop of 1,161 ranks. NIT Patna, Btech ECE, 20,054 current year, last year 18,672, a drop of 1,382 ranks. NIT Durgapur, Btech Electrical Engineering, 20,241 current year, last year 18,772, a drop of 1,469 ranks. It ended with 19,972, so this year it will be about 21,000. NIT Raipur, Btech ECE, 20,543 current year, last year 18,503, a drop of 2,040 ranks. Dr. B.R. Ambedkar NIT Jalandhar, Btech Electrical Engineering, 20,671 current year, 18,664 last year, a drop of 2,007 ranks. NIT Bhopal, Btech Electrical Engineering with E-Mobility, 20,843, it's a new course. NIT Silchar, Btech Electronics and Instrumentation Engineering, 21,094 in the current year, 20,531 last year, 563 is the drop. NIT Goa, Btech Electrical and Electronics Engineering, 22,140 current year, 21,106 last year, a drop of 1,034 ranks. NIT Patna, Btech Electronics Engineering, VLSI Design and Technology, 22,242 current year. Last year 20,726, a drop of 1,516 ranks. IIIT Shivpur, Btech Electronics and Telecommunications, 24,003 current year. Last year 21,989, a drop of 2,014 ranks. NIT Hamirpur, Btech Electrical Engineering, 24,207 current year. Last year 24,305. Odd man out here, 98 ranks, it's short up. MNIT Bhopal, Btech Energy and Electrical Vehicle Engineering, 25,042 current year. Last year 23,299, a drop of 1,743 ranks. NIT Puducherry, Btech ECE, 25,044 current year. Last year 23,320, a drop of 1,734 ranks. This ended with 24,078 last year. So you can safely expect about 26,000 being the closing this year. NIT Silchar, 25,234 current year, 23,289 in the last year, a massive drop of 1,945. So going by that, this 25,920 would be close to about 28,000. NIT Patna, Btech Electrical, 25,371 current year, 25,041 last year, a drop of 330 ranks. NIT Calicut, Btech Energy Engineering, 25,459 current year, 18,696 last year, a massive drop of 6,763 ranks. I don't know what happened here, right? And it ended with 25,927, so that would not be the growth. So you might actually see about 29 to 30,000 being the highest closing rank this year. NIT Uttarakhand, Btech ECE, 25,733 in the current year, 24,571 in the last year, a drop of 1,162. Dr. B.R. Ambedkar NIT Jalandhar, Btech Instrumentation and Control, 25,734 in the current year. Last year it was 26,480. This has grown. NIT Raipur, Btech Electrical Engineering, 25,785 in the current year, 24,826 in the last year, 959 drop. NIT Andhra Pradesh, Btech ECE, 26,434 in the current year, 25,083 in the previous year, a drop of 1,351. NIT Agartala, Btech ECE, 28,197 in the current year, 26,406 in the previous year, 1,791 is a drop. IIIT Shivpur, Btech Electrical Engineering, 29,264 in the current year, 28,242 in the previous year, a drop of 1,022. It ended with 30,994, so you can safely assume over 32,000 being the way it will move this time around. NIT Puducherry, Btech Electronics and Electrical Engineering, 31,456 current year, 30,409 last year, a drop of 1,047. NIT Uttarakhand, Btech Electrical and Electronics Engineering, 32,665 in the current year, 32,138 in the previous year, 527 is a drop. NIT Meghalaya, Btech ECE, 32,680, 29,560, a drop of 3,120 ranks. NIT Andhra Pradesh, Btech Electrical and Electronics Engineering, EEE, 33,326, 32,174 in the current previous year, 1,154 drop. NIT Srinagar, Btech ECE, 33,500 in the current year, 33,725 in the previous year, jumped by 225 ranks. NIT Sikkim, Btech ECE, 34,767 in the current year, 35,024 in the previous year, a jump of 257 ranks. NIT Agartala, Btech Electrical Engineering, 36,711 in the current year, 33,568 in the previous year, a drop of 3,143 ranks. NIT Agartala, Btech Electronics and Instrumentation, 38,013 in the current year, 34,472 in the previous year, a drop of 3,541 ranks. These two have really dropped dramatically here, and both in Agartala. NIT Sikkim, Btech Electrical and Electronics Engineering, 38,509, 38,536 in the previous year, a gain of 27 ranks. NIT Srinagar, Btech Electrical, 41,570 in the current year, 39,728 in the last year, a drop of 1,842 ranks. But this ended with 43,000, so you can actually expect again about 45,000 being the closing. Then NIT Meghalaya, Btech EEE, 41,633 in the current year, 37,248 in the previous year, a drop of 4,385 rank. All this would be dropping high because as and when some good NITs start new branches, people move away from these institutions to those institutions. That's what will happen. So as you keep going down the ladder, the margin will only expand and not contract. NIT Arunachal Pradesh, Btech ECE, 43,146 current year, 40,274 last year, a drop of 2,872. NIT Manipur, Btech ECE, 45,114 in the current year, 45,887 last year, a drop of 4,527. NIT Mizoram, 45,269 in the current year, 42,182 in the previous year, a drop of 3,087. NIT Nagaland, 45,735 in the current year, 42,864 in the previous year, a drop of 2,871. NIT Arunachal Pradesh, Btech Electrical Engineering, 46,684 in the current year, 43,403 in the previous year, a drop of 3,281. NIT Nagaland, Btech Electrical Triple E, 49,135 in the current year, 46,982 in the previous year, a drop of 2,153. NIT Nagaland again, Btech Electronics and Instrumentation, 49,956 in the current year, 46,704 in the previous year, a drop of 3,252. NIT Manipur, Btech Electrical Engineering, 49,979 in the current year, 44,070 in the previous year, a drop of 5,909. NIT Mizoram, Btech Electrical Engineering, 50,462 in the current year, 45,141 in the previous year, a drop of 5,321. NIT Kurukshetra, now we're talking about dual degree programs. So NIT ECE and Electrical Engineering, we're talking about dual degree programs, and we're talking about the highest closing rank after round 2 of JoSAA. NIT Kurukshetra, Btech ECE dual degree, 12,415 was the highest closing rank last year. This time it's 11,963, a drop of 452 ranks. NIT Hamirpur, Btech ECE dual degree, 20,079 last year, 19,653 this year, a drop of 426 ranks. NIT Patna, Btech ECE with specialization in microelectronics and VLSI design, 22,381 current year, 22,526 last year, a gain of 145 ranks. NIT Hamirpur, Btech ECE dual degree, 47,030, it's a new course. NIT Kurukshetra, Btech Electrical Engineering dual degree, 18,949 current year, 15,655 last year, a massive drop of 3,294 ranks. NIT Patna, Btech Electrical Engineering with specialization in power system engineering dual degree, 29,831 in the current year. Last year it was 27,777, a drop of 2,054 ranks. And NIT Manipur, Btech Electrical Engineering dual degree, 52,558, it's a new course completely. So what we've shown here till now is all NITs outside the home state, all India quota, for based on JoSAA Round 2 counselling cutoff this year and last year. We also showed you what exactly happened by the time the admission finished last year. So you know the journey that you have or the space that you have to get your option at some point in time. If you want me to cover any other branch, please write to me in the message box here. Do subscribe to Btech360 if you've not done that. We're creating a lot of information. And if you want to talk to us, this is a number 81303 76334. So quite simply, if you're still struggling to get an admission into a good decent college or a good college, you can call us on this number and a counselor will help you to at least identify the colleges, and then you can decide for yourself whether you want to apply there or not. And you need to write Btech when you're writing this message on this number, and a counselor will call you and understand the problem. I hope this helps you. Thank you so much. Namaste.